So you've all been a bit quiet. I've been sitting in the back and I'm going to wake you up because there's a very important message that I'm going to give to you this morning. I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to go out there and make you do big leaps and jumps. I don't believe that you can be anything you want to be. I don't believe that rubbish. However, I do believe that confidence is at the heart of everything. And that I will be talking about. And believe me, this gig is nearly over, so just give me 8 minutes of your time. That's my time slot. So this morning, I was listening to all these people. And the word that kept coming to me all the time is, this morning was about a calling. Just a calling. And a calling is something that all of us have. But what these people, all of what we heard this morning was, they felt so compelled to do something about it that it left them with no choice. And you know what? We're defined by the choices we make. We're defined by the choices we make. That is all life is. It's just a series of choices. Think about it. So what they have done, and these entrepreneurs that came before us from social entrepreneurs, they've chosen to live the life they want as opposed to the one they think they should be living. That's a huge part of confidence. Do what you want to do within a context, as opposed to what you think you should do. I am sick of the should chorus. We should be this, we should be more of that, we should be less of this, we should be thinner, we should be more beautiful, we should be brilliant parents. I am tired of it. A very personal opinion. I want to talk about what we want to do, and that's a totally different way of looking at it. So I'm going to invite you, and don't cringe. I'm going to invite you to bring on your calling. And don't worry, it's not anything fancy, it's not anything extraordinary, but it's what matters to you at what stage of your life that you are at. And your calling is that, what I call Mr. Niggle. Do you know Mr. Niggle? Well, it can be Mrs. Niggle, seeing as International Women's Day, whatever you like. Mr. or Mrs. Niggle is there on your shoulder. She or he is there in front of you as you're driving to work or in the Lewis or on the train or whatever it is, and you just keep pushing it away. It's that itch you need to scratch, but you just put it off. So this morning, I'm asking you to invite that and let it sit on your shoulder, bring it on. And for all of you, it'll be different. It's not a competition. So let's just, something that you've been wanting to do. And for some of you, you're doing that calling already. You're in the job you want to be in. You're in the company you want to be in. But for a lot of people, it might be changing careers. It might be spending more time with your family. It might be progressing the career ladder. But there is something that is niggling. So let's take just one moment to have a look, and I'm really urging you to, because then I'll be doing the 5 steps of confidence and how to bring that about. Now, I hope you weren't all thinking about the cup of coffee you're going to have straight after this event. My latest calling culminated last night in the Rotunda Hospital. Now, I didn't have a baby, just so you know. We, myself and Roisin Ingle, launched the Daughterhood. And the Daughterhood came to me 5 years ago when my mother was sick, and she got lupus. And lupus is a horrible illness which attacks your entire autoimmune system, and she had been given 6 months to live. I had a total meltdown. I had a mini crisis because I thought, what the hell will I do if she dies on me? It was all about me. And a second part was the self-scrutiny of, have I been a good enough daughter? Have I been good to her? Have I told her I love her enough? And will I have the time to do the things with her that I want to? And the tagline we use, by the way, I needed that calling, which it was, other than the work that I do, because I run a very busy company, I needed that calling like a hole in the head. And that's the thing that callings are. They don't always come at the right time, and it isn't always the right time to do them, but they're still there. And it's whether you choose to do something about them is what I'm talking about. So anyway, the tagline we have for the daughterhood is imagine standing at your mother's graveside and having no regrets, or at least very few. So what happened to me was to bring that set the urgency for writing the daughterhood. So what helped me bring it about, apart from finding Roisin Ingle, my mentor, was this 5 steps of confidence that I developed a few years ago to help us get from where we are to where we want to get to. So really quickly, I'll bring you through these steps. Where are they? They're up here somewhere. Oh, they're somewhere. Maybe they're there. There they are. So I'm asking you to just apply the 5 things, apply that thing or that calling that I mentioned a few minutes ago that you had in your own head to these 5 steps. And trust me, this is a formula that works. It's practical and it's simple. So we start the first one on the right-hand side called Locus of Control. Very quickly, what's the locus of control? What does that mean? That means, to what extent do I believe that I can affect things in my own life? To what extent do I believe that I can influence what happens in my life and what I do and how I do it? So the question you ask there is, what can I do about the situation and what can I do about it now? Apply that to whatever, please, is going on in your head. The second one is fear. Well, if we could rid ourselves of fear, and they all talked about fear this morning, wouldn't we all be fine? Well, I suggest we just get out of our own way. Just step over yourself. Because once you examine, really, where's the evidence for the fear? The anticipation of something that we're trying to do is always worse than the reality. Isn't it true? It is. We worry our heads off about what will happen, but when we get there, how many times have we gone, do you know, it wasn't that bad after all? And it's true. So look for the hard evidence. What am I afraid of? But the question you need to ask with regard to fear is, what if I do nothing? Well, you know what? That's exactly what will happen. Your life will stay the same. And how bloody dull would that be? The next one is courage. And courage is a muscle, and I truly believe it. The more you use courage, the more you use that muscle, the easier it is to take that jump across a threshold. Courage is what helps you to just go for it. The next one is mastery. The more we do something, the better we get at it. We all know that. So once you've done it once, twice, 3 times, you become excellent, more confident, which is more competent. They're interlinked. And finally, appreciate your achievements. And you know, in Ireland, we're so funny. You'll say to somebody, you look lovely, Asher, and you got that in pennies for a £5. We're just not good at it. We're just so dreadful. And then if you even go, thanks a million, people go, do you know what, she has some notion about herself, doesn't she? So you just can't win. However, a little bit more of, thank you. Do you know what, I thought I didn't do a bad job myself, is no harm at all. So appreciating your achievement is about giving you the courage to go on to do the next thing. So they're the 5 steps of confidence. There is no mystery to them. You can learn them. I don't let anyone tell you differently. So to go back to, as I said, the calling, my own calling of the book, and it was imagine standing at your mother's graveside and having no regrets. That's the message that the book gives, or at least very few regrets. The only thing I'd ask you this morning is imagine if we can look back at our lives and know that we didn't ignore all those niggles and all those itches. Because at least we can say we did our best. We made the most of what we were given in life. And as Oscar Wilde says, live your own life because everyone else is taken. Thank you.